Hey guys, Flom here, and today we're going to be looking at Mirage again. So today I'm going to be going and breaking down even further what you can do more mid-round to late round, some passive positions that you can hold, and I'm going to strictly be looking at the CT side today. What we're going to be going through is how to play window, how you can play in connector, opping around triple box or CT at A, how to op cat, and how to late round op upper B and get some map control for your team. So first things first, when I go into window, I'm actually pretty cautious of my spawn because sometimes people like to take a T mid pick. So if you don't have the best spawn, it might not be the best thing to go in window that round. The second thing I like to do is when I go inside window, I like to jump on top of this wooden panel right here. The reason for that is when somebody peeks out top mid, they have to change elevation. They're most likely going to be scoped into the bottom corner, except you're going to be slightly elevated. Chances are that even if they shoot before you, they might leg you, just greater increasing the chances that they don't kill you. The other thing I like to do when coming into window is if I notice that the team has been smoking top mid a lot, I actually won't, and I will jump off the panel and I will come to the opposite side of window. The reason I like to be on the opposite side of window is because when in this position, you can actually see their feet when they're crossing out top mid. Now, if you get blind, another thing I like to do in the window position is mauling back boxes immediately. So while the smoke is up and I'm mauling behind boxes, I like to hold this right side peak. Left side top mid is now smoked. I now mauled behind the boxes and I may have forced out an enemy into my scope. The final thing I'd like to comment on the window peak, guys, is that I typically actually don't like going inside window all that much unless I know it's an eco round. A lot of times there's a lot of utility dumped towards window, and without a clear plan in mind, it's not always bad to be in there. But if you have some decent spawns, there's a lot of other places on the map that I feel like you can be really effective. The next thing we'll be looking at, guys, is connector. So there's two ways you can approach going connector. One is through A and one is through the vent. If you have an A spawn, I personally like to go this route and I like to peek the A ramp before coming out. The reason this is pretty decent is for some reason people like to hold this angle right here with an op, even though I don't think it's all that strong. When you peek into this player, if he's holding with an op and you're ready for him, it's almost guaranteed a free kill for you. This is also really strong and effective is if a player wants to scrim out A ramp with a rifle, a lot of times they're going to be swinging wide, and you'll be able to at least take a shot at them. You might not hit it, but they're not really going to be looking at you because they're going to be looking towards CT default. They're not really necessarily, if they're going for that early wide peek, their first place isn't always to look at bench. Now, getting past that, once you get towards connector, I like to throw a smoke off this wall and it just creates a one-way. This one-way is really effective for when they smoke top mid. You can see when they cross. You can also block their Molotov that they throw towards connector. It also gives you a free path to look underneath window when it's there. Now, the only dangers of this smoke is teams getting like pop flashed in towards you, so having a teammate around you is really helpful. Now, mid to late round, if a team is walking anywhere and just kind of exploding into positions, the op is great at shutting that down. So if you know that a team has been walking cat late round or just coming up connector late round, I actually think this right here is a very good position to hold. However, this is not a position that you would like to hold by yourself. You want to have either a rifle in the corner or a rifle baiting you somewhere, so that way when you make your contact and you get the first pick, your teammate is there to trade off of you. And honestly, it's really annoying to deal with you here. This is a very favorable fight if a team is walking middle a lot, and this is a great position to hold sometimes mid to late round. Now, the third thing I'm going to be talking about today, guys, is opping triple versus opping CT spawn at A. They both have their uses, and I feel like they both have their timings in the round in which they're good to play. I actually greatly prefer playing triple at the start of a round, as I feel like I have a nicer angle for when they come out A ramp, but on top of that, I feel a lot more mobile, and if they throw quick smokes towards CT, I'm still fighting here, and if my teammates are in the bomb site, I don't have to push through a smoke or anything like that to support them. However, when you hold here later into the round, say the round is broken down, this is a spot where it's extremely good early on, but when the round slowly plays out and people can be in different positions, I think that is when the correct time is to play CT. This is a really, really good angle for CT. The only downside to this angle is people are aware of it. People throw smokes here, they throw flashes. Honestly, another opper peeking into you can be very dangerous, as you're zoned out a little bit. You're holding this angle for a while and a team explodes onto the site, and sometimes this can be a little tricky, but late round, this is by far the superior position. You're blocked off from Palace. If they come up connector, they have to go all the way top stairs and they have to go to sandwich, and that's very unlikely without your teammates having a call for you. So when it is late round and you're holding CT, one thing you can do is when the enemy smoke CT is jumping on the box. Now this is a position where you don't want to sit there and hold it the whole time. The goal is to try to get one kill and then just immediately fall back. Now, a lot of you guys know about the window jump. I'm not going to be talking about that today. What I'm just going to be talking about is some super basic stuff. The reason I still like doing this is because it's still a good late round thing to do, or mid round, and the timings are still really strong. So when a team is smoking top mid a lot of the time, you'll still get here before they cross to a position where I think you should even be taking a fight to begin with. Now, when I get up cat and a team is smoking top mid, I actually like to just peek like right around here. Not a lot of players will throw flashes towards catwalk quite yet until they're further up mid. This is a great position where I find that I capitalize on people's mistakes often, where when you're holding kind of what we'll say is like an off angle, you know, you're just slightly in front of the ladder angle. This causes them to just kind of carelessly walk into your scope. So what I like to do, I use the mid smoke as my guide. This is where I hold. This is where a lot of players will start jumping to run to chair. They're not really expecting you to be holding a wider angle on this smoke, and their smoke and getting out mid pretty easily gives them a false sense of security. The other angles that you can hold on cat are, you know, you can throw a smoke off of cat and you can play on the opposite side and hold an even deeper angle on the boxes. You can jump on top of the sign and look behind the boxes. If you want to hold a more passive position, the ladder angle is not my favorite. There's a lot of reasons for that. You can get peeked on multiple levels. You can get peeked from catwalk, from bottom of mid here, and you can get peeked from back mid. There's kind of like 3 different positions where, yeah, they kind of line up, but they are totally different in how they are. If the guy close catwalk decides to wide swing on you here, it's a very tricky situation to be in, and a lot of people are prepared for you to be opping in here. So I like to be holding here for when they cross the chair, or I like to be further back and just maybe holding chair. There's nothing wrong with holding a passive angle here. Say that maybe they do a late explode upper B, you're in a perfect position to just completely slaughter the enemy team if they don't smoke you off. So this isn't too bad either. Now, when you're taking your op upper B, it's very much kind of like how we went over on the first episode of Mirage, where you're getting flashed upper B and your team is pushing it. However, this time it's just your teammate flashing you and you're just trying to take map control for your team. So holding here late round is actually something I like to do instead of going for this aggressive peek up here, because if you're going up here late round, you expose yourself to a lot more positions. This guy could easily be on the right side lurking you. This is a very dangerous position to be in. Now that we're in the late round, being right here is far superior in my opinion, because when these teams are walking to B, trying to be quiet and setting up for their execute, a lot of players will just simply walk right onto this angle. So this is a great place to hold late round. After you get your shot and you get your peek, you can immediately fall back, and another position that is really strong to hold is back sight right here on this window. Everybody has to cross here, whether they're jumping out the window, they're trying to cross to go out to upper B plat, and it's extremely hard to flash you because once you get that first shot, they're going to be throwing flashes over. However, you're going to be moving down and you're going to be kind of looking away, and then you're safe behind this wall. So a lot of these flashes that the enemy team is going to be throwing aren't going to be that effective against you, giving you a really strong position to hold mid to late round. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up this episode of Scoped Up. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe guys. As always, I'll see you guys in the next episode, and take it easy.